Adventure Channel at the campus of Orangeburg Prep. Welcome to live high school basketball here on Jones Intercable. Tonight's basketball game, the Orangeburg Prep Indians and Pinewood Prep from Somerville. What is in essence a battle for first place in Conference 2-3A here in Skeezer. Along with Fred Stabler, this is Barry and Garris. Fred's second time these two ball clubs have met this basketball season. First game went to Pinewood Prep down in Somerville.
Well, I tell you, Orangeburg Prep has to feel extremely fortunate to have a shot at the conference championship when they fell behind by 2 games in the league. But an upset at Hayward by Hayward over Pinewood Prep has given Orangeburg Prep a chance to play tonight for a share of the conference championship.
Pinewood Prep was undefeated here in conference play until last Friday night, and they made a trip down to Richmond to play Hayward. They shot 62% from the floor, 84% from the free throw line, but they gave up 88 points and they lost.
Well, you know, championship games, you've got to play good quality defense, and obviously they didn't.
A loss 2 weeks ago this Friday night to First Baptist down in Charleston, a game that many people feel that Prep had their pocket picked, not by the basketball team, but by the officiating crew, could come back to haunt the Indians. If they win here tonight, though, that goes by the board because it puts them in a tie for first place.
Well, what's happened is we've had cases where teams keep losing on the road. Orangeburg Prep at First Baptist, Pinewood Prep goes to Hayward and lose. You've got to win at home, and Orangeburg Prep has the opportunity tonight to get a share of that conference championship.
Orangeburg Prep is 11, Chad Lanham. He shoots the three-point shot as well as anybody. And also number 21, Derek Smith on the inside. And he does it. Yes, he is 21. I thought he was 13. 21, Derek Smith is the leading scorer. Big Mike Spacel, 6'5", 260 pounds. He wears number 32. He is the big offensive player for Somerville. It's at 6'5", 260. He can dunk the ball standing flat-footed. Averages 22 a ball game.
Well, he's a good athlete, but I don't think any team in the conference has 2 better players than Lanham and Smith. Lanham is an extremely good outside shooter, and Smith is quick, runs the floor well, and scores a lot of points in transition. He's shooting 62% from the field, and that is outstanding.
Richard Chorto needs a good ball game tonight at point guard. Coach Smith told us just before this ball game that Richard had an excellent ball game last night against Jeff Davis. Had 13 points and 8 assists. He needs an equal performance tonight against Pinewood.
Richard's been a little erratic. He had a turned ankle that set him back some, and quite frankly wasn't playing up to his capability. But you can look for him to play well down the stretch. He's a money player.
You can look for a hard-fought basketball game. It is very important for Orangeburg Prep. If the Indians can pull this one off, they're back on a tie for first place. If they lose, they then drop into a tie for second place with Charleston First Baptist.
Extremely important game tonight. You want to go into the conference tournament as the top-seeded team and have an automatic berth in the state finals.
It is Orangeburg Prep and Pinewood Prep of Somerville. And we'll be back with the starting lineups and the tip-off for tonight's basketball game here on Jones Intercable in just a moment. Derek Smith is number 13. I don't know exactly how I managed to change his number down to my scorecard, but I did. But it is an important basketball game. We did not talk about the defense for Pinewood Prep. They like to play a lot of man. They will play some zone and some matchup zone, but Coach Pat Edison told us that his ball club really did not like to do a lot of fancy trapping. They may go full court man-to-man press, but they didn't like a lot of half-court traps and things like that.
Well, you know, just looking down at the roster, man, they don't have a lot of players, so you know, I don't think they probably can go as deep as Prep can.
Well, it's a cold night outside, and thank goodness it's a little bit warmer than that in here. So some of you folks are sitting at home right now wondering about coming to the basketball game. You still have about 3 minutes before it is tip-off time. And again, it promises to be a very good basketball team. Let's look at some of the ratings around Skeezer. The top-rated team in the state right now is Florence Christian. Boys team, they are 10-3. Calhoun is second at 12-3. Colleton Prep is third at 12-1. They've got a pair of brothers down there who are doing extremely well. Roy Hudgens is fourth, and Pinewood Prep rated fifth. That's coming into this week's play. Orangeburg Prep rated ninth. May have been some shakeup since this.
Well, I think the 2 teams at the top are still the same. Florence Christian has had 3 wins since then, and Calhoun is now at 14-4. They're playing extremely well. Beat Wilson Hall last night. You know, Prep, Orangeburg Prep, I think Richard is pretty well pleased with everything that's happened, with the exception of the game at down at First Baptist, and again, he said he wasn't disappointed with the effort of his players, but he really thought, that First Baptist shot about 43 free throws, and I think Orangeburg Prep shot about 12.
Prep also was whistled for 13 fouls, and First Baptist was whistled for 12. We will be back in just a moment, and we'll have more of the pregame activities from here at McAllister Gym before the Orangeburg Prep Indians take on Pinewood. That's coming up next here on Jones Entertainment. There you see the officials for tonight's ball game, and they're out of the Florence Association. That is Gene Watts on the right, and he will be the referee. The other young man is Don Wynn. As the seniors are being announced to the crowd here at McAllister Gym. This is the final home appearance during the regular season. Orangeburg Prep, Jack Hibbets. There's Rocky Vaughn, Chad Lanham, number 11, coming out now. Derek Smith, who is number 13. And here is Leandro Costa, who is from Brazil. He's the exchange student here, and the young man who scored 4 points in our game last Friday night. And 33, Kenneth Proctor. And those are the senior young men that will be playing their last regular season game here at McAllister Gym. And we say last regular season because if it ends on a tie, I guess there is a coin toss to decide where Orangeburg Prep and Pinewood Prep would play. But let's don't count our basketball games before they're played, but that is certainly a possibility.
Well, I kind of feel like that Orangeburg Prep's going to play well tonight, man. They've played pretty well the last couple of weeks, and it's a big game, and they're at home, and the conference this year, the home team has won a vast majority of the games. It seems like the crowd gets into it, and they play extremely well at home.
There's Alan Slack, who is a junior. Alan Slack, 6 feet tall. Mike McGuire, another one of the starters. McGuire averaging almost 17 points a game and 5.5 rebounds. There's Mike Spacer averaging 22 points a game. He's listed as 6'4". His father said he's 6'5". John Lamar, another junior, 6'2" guard, shooting 67% from the free throw line. And number 50, David Bargatze, is the other starter. Bargatze is 6'2". Kevin Kosak, Nikolai Nielsen, and Brendan Worley are the other 3 players that are dressed out for this ballgame. Pinewood Prep 13-7, or 14-7, coming into tonight's ballgame, counting the game that they won Tuesday night. And they are 6-1 in conference play. Here's Jack Hibbets, who will get one of the forwards tonight for Richard Smith Ball Club. Here's Chad Lanham. Well, if you count the game played Tuesday night against Dorchester, Pinewood is 14-7 and 6-1 in the conference now. I know we were missing a conference game in there. Jeff Bender getting the start. Derek Smith, Jack Hibbets, Chad Lanham, and Richard Tarto. And Richard Smith, of course, is the coach. We're going to pause for a national anthem tonight, offered by Polly Hewitt, who is a senior at Orangeburg Prep, along with Mary Graham McCullough, who's the 8th grader. Both are members of the Orangeburg Prep Singers. tough enough song to sing for a full musical accompaniment, but a cappella becomes very, very tough.
Well, I tell you what, I'm certainly no judge of music, but I thought they did an awfully nice job. That was very pretty.
Very nice, and we are ready for basketball. Again, what is at stake here is a share first place if Orangeburg Prep wins, if Pinewood Prep wins. The Panthers win here tonight. They have a two-game lead for first place in the league. It's John Lamar, Alan Slack, Mac McGuire, David Bargatze, and Michael Spacel going for Pinewood. Dressed in...
They're the Panthers. They're dressed kind of like the Carolina Panthers.
Yes.
Same color.
Yes, they are. And it will be Spacel jumping up against Derek Smith, and Spacel has a 3-inch height advantage over Smith. A pretty nice crowd on hand here, as it should be, with a game this important. Tip is controlled by Pinewood Prep. By head it goes, and getting the first basket on an easy play is Matt McGuire. That took about 3 seconds, and Pinewood Prep is on the board first.
Tell you what, really surprised by Spacel how quick he got up there, because Derek Smith, you know, is super quick.
Jeff Fender, who has been playing much better basketball as of late. Out to Lanham, over to Hibbets. Torto, picked up by McGuire, man-to-man. Good cut onto the basket, nice feed, and Smith can't get it down. Allen Slack with the ball. The Indians on a man defense. We expect to see a lot of man by both ball clubs tonight.
Both teams showing a lot of good movement on offense.
Spacel scores from underneath. Mike Spacel, his first two, and quickly it is 4-0 Pinewood. We have played 1 minute in the basketball game. Fender puts a move on Spacel. Doesn't get the roll, and Bargatze gets the rebound for Pinewood. Quickly to McGuire, off his hands, out of bounds.
Tell you, man, I looked at Spacel come out, and I thought that we'd really be able to eat him up with quickness, but he is pretty darn agile for a kid his size, isn't he?
A kid who can stand flat-footed and dunk the basketball at 260 pounds, you would have to think he's fairly agile.
Yep, not many of us can do that.
Jack Hibbets fires. Fender off his hands, out of bounds. So the Indians have gone 92 seconds and haven't gotten on the board yet. 4-0, Pinewood Prep on top.
Well, we've gotten a couple good shots, a couple good looks at the bucket. They just hadn't gone down.
Here's Bargatze. McGuire. Spacel scores again.
He's so big, he just takes up a lot of room in there, and they're doing a good job of getting it down low to him.
It's all Pinewood Prep in the first 2 minutes, 6-0. Foul whistled on, as you see Gene Watts go to the scorer's table. Mac McGuire picks up the first foul of the ball game. His first, team first.
Gene Watts been officiating for a lot of years, man. One of the premier officials in Skeezer.
See him at the state tournament in Sumter every year. Richard picked up by Mac McGuire. Man defense now being played by Pinewood. Chad Lanham.
Yep. Richard Smith changed his offense, went a little higher, set a little wheel in motion, and got Chad Lanham open from 15 feet and kind of got the Indians off the snide a little bit.
Intercepted by Torto. Richard can't get the roll on the other end.
Good hustle.
A great hustle. Out of bounds, off Mac McGuire. Excuse me, not Mac McGuire, that is John Lamar. Last touch by Pinewood.
Great hustle by Torto going after that loose ball.
We've played 2 minutes and 40 seconds. 6-2. Pinewood on top.
Same offensive set, a little series, little wheel motion, screening away from the ball.
Derek Smith. Nice feed from Richard Torto. Derek has 2 minutes, a 6-4 ball game at the 5-minute mark.
Good penetration by Richard Torto and a good dish off to Derek Smith.
Stolen by Derek. And we're tied. A I was wondering if Derek was going to try to dunk that after he missed 2 out of 3 dunks last Friday.
He knows how big this game is. He wanted to make sure he got it in.
We're tied at 6. Both teams have had 6-point spurts. Right now, we're in the middle of an Indian spurt.
Prep really picking up the intensity on defense.
Slack picked up by Lanham. Spacel. Double team. Lamar fires. Tipped outside to Torto. Excuse me, I think that's Lanham. Torto will be fouled by David Bargatze. For Bargatze, his first, team second. And Richard will get 2 free throws.
Okay, looks like the Indians are going to give Jeffrey Fenner some help inside on Spacel. They're kind of doubling down there, and until Pinewood Prep hits a few outside shots, I think you'll see him do that, give him a lot of help, because Spacel got off to a quick start and got 6 points real quick.
And that will be ever so important. The free throw shooting took Richard shooting 62% on the year. Gets 1 of 2, and the Indians have their first lead at 7-6. Midway through the opening period. Allen Slack. Bargatze. McGuire.
I don't believe Bargatze is much of a scorer, Marion. I think that, they're really looking down low to Spacel.
McGuire, Spacel, and Slack are the scorers. But that was Bargatze then who went 3 for 2. 8-7. Pinewood regains the lead by 1. Derek Smith. Richard Torto will be called for a push-off underneath. His first, team first. 8-7, Pinewood on top. 3:03 left here in the first period. Slack picked up by Lanham at half court. Oh, nice give and go from Bargatze to John Lamar. Lamar's first 2, and it's a 3-point Pinewood Prep lead at 10-7.
Real impressed with Pinewood Prep's offense. They got some good offensive sets, some good motion. Doing a good job of moving the ball.
Torto for 3. Smith the rebound. Up down to Hibbets. Bargatze gave him he got away with it.
Yep.
But a nice shot by Jack. His first 2 in the ball game, and it's 10-9 at the 2:20 mark.
Say, well, that was a tough shot by Hibbets, I'm telling you, because like you say, he really got a big bump as he went up.
Slack. Hibbets the rebound. 2 minutes left in the opening period. Pinewood still leads by 1 at 10-9. Torto. Battle for the basketball underneath. And somebody from Prep will pick up a foul. And it is Jack Hibbets. And for Jack, that is his first, team second. Backdoor cut to McGuire. Doesn't get the shot, but he does draw a foul.
Tell you, Pinewood Prep attacks the basket, attacks the goal, don't they? I mean, they got a series of cuts going for the bucket. They're looking down low.
Jeff Fender, his first foul. And with that, we have an official's timeout. 1 minute and 48 seconds left in the opening period. It's Pinewood Prep 10, Orangeburg Prep 9.
Look at this whole picture of Grandma and Granddad. I wish I could have it, but I want it too. Sound familiar? Don't worry. With their new state-of-the-art equipment, Orangeburg Camera Center can duplicate your old photographs, even if you don't have the negative. So now you and any family member can have one of those old, cherished photographs.
For the finest in professional photography, with the quality and reasonable prices you've come to expect, it's the Orangeburg Camera Center.
Would you like your tax refund back today? Well, the Bracket System is here to help you with the best service in town. Bracket System is Orangeburg's oldest tax service, established in 1966. They guarantee the best rates and offer the world's fastest refund. And by filing your return to the Bracket System, you automatically qualify for cash and prizes up to $25,000. At the Bracket System, they're interested in getting all of your refund without paying any hidden charges. So call today, 535-3706.
1 minute, 48 seconds left in the opening period of our high school basketball this Friday night here on Jones Indicator. Pinewood Prep 10, Orangeburg Prep 9, and Mac McGuire is at the free throw line for the first time tonight for Pinewood. That's 2 points on 1 field goal so far in the game. Well, so far, neither team is having a great deal of success with their opening free throw. McGuire gets 1 of 2, and it's a 2-point Prep lead. Pinewood Prep lead at 11-9.
You know what, man, like in most championship games, you know, there's so much intensity on defense. They tend to be a little score. I don't think we'll have a game in the 70s like the first matchup.
Outside Jeff Fender. Foul whistled on Mac McGuire for McGuire. That is his second. Team third. While we have a moment, let us thank Pinewood coach Pat Edison for his help and introducing this ball game tonight, along with Richard Smith and Don Shelley from Orangeburg Prep, who are always extremely helpful. Three-second violation is somebody hung down in that foul lane just a bit too long.
I tell you, man, Alan Slack really working hard on Chad Lanham, not giving him much daylight.
That is Alan Slack right there with the basketball. Spacer, nice backdoor cut to John Lamar, a nice block by Jack Hibbets. Last touch by the Indians. Pinewood Prep will control the beautiful defense by Hibbets then. 1:05 left here in the opening period. 2-point Pinewood Prep lead. Sorry, it was the Indian ball, not Pinewood Prep. Could have sworn he did that the other way.
Yep, I did myself.
Well, they do that sometimes. You get confused, but then they remember the color of the uniform and get it right. Torto.
Hey, Slack is a couple inches taller than Lanham, and he's really quick.
Spaso strips Derek Smith with the basketball. Then he's stripped by Jeff Fender. Ahead, look out. Chad Lanham tried to find Richard Torto. Almost threw it up in the radio guy's face on the stage there. Pinewood Prep will control 36 seconds left in the opening period. Slack picked up by Torto there in the backfield. Richard will be called for his second foul. A little reaching foul. That won't make Richard Smith real happy, I don't think, to pick up 2 here in the opening period.
Hey, man, Pinewood Prep has got a lot of quickness, and you know, teams that play Orangeburg Prep, if you go be successful against them, you've got to have a lot of quickness, and they do.
Ryan Jenkins will check into the ball game for Richard Torto, and Richard will get a breather. Bargatze. Lamar. Bargatze, a rebound. Shot partially blocked underneath. Boy, Bargatze doesn't shoot. He gave up an 8-foot jump.
Yep. He just bangs and sets good screens, makes good passes. He's a good role player.
7 seconds left in the period. The Indians hustling to try to get one off before the buzzer, and Lanham bounces it off his foot. Slack lets go. Ooh, it would have counted if it had gone. We have played 1 quarter here in our conference leaders basketball game. The score after 1. Pinewood Prep of Somerville 11. Orangeburg Prep 9. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy is part of the largest and fastest growing chain of prescription centers in the country. The Medicine Shop provides only the highest quality prescriptions at prices you can't afford to ignore.
Hi, I'm Pat Wood with the Medicine Shop, and we know what value means to you. That's why we guarantee the lowest prices on every prescription we carry.
And of course, you can always expect the fast, friendly service you and your family deserve. The Medicine Shop. What a pharmacy was meant to be. The Vacuum Center has the right ceiling fan for you. Choose from name brands such as Hunter, Regency, Horizon, and Sierra. There's also the newest designs in light kits. The Vacuum Center now offers audio tech, a complete built-in music system with intercom, central alarm clock, and speakers installed. They also install Beam built-in vacuum systems that draw the dirt out of your home.
Come by the Vacuum Center today and check out the savings.
Pinewood Prep 11, Orangeburg Prep 9. We are ready to begin the second period, and the Indians get the ball in the alternating possession. Jack Hibbets to make the inbounds pass. Torto, who went out just before the end of the first period because he had picked up 2 quick fouls, now back in the ball game. Save 5 for each ball club that started. Understand that Pinewood Prep does not make a lot of substitutions. They don't have a lot of guys to go to.
The most they can make is 3 since they don't have but 8 players. But
Torto fires. Spacel gets the rebound. Spacel averaging 10 rebounds a game. Mac McGuire just threw it away. It'll be a backcourt violation as Alan Slack runs it down in front of the Pinewood bench.
the thing that surprises me about Pinewood Prep, which goes with basically that iron 5, is that they play man-to-man. They don't press, but they play good, solid man-to-man defense. A lot of times you see teams play a lot of zone when they don't substitute a lot, but not the case with Pinewood Prep.
Lanham. That's for 2, and for Chad, he's got 4 in the ball game, and we're knotted.
They gave us a 3 there, man. It wasn't 2, but they gave us 3.
Did the official signal 3?
Official signal 3.
That's wrong.
You're right.
5 points for Chad, 12-11, the Indians lead.
Yep. Chad's foot was clearly inside the line, but we'll take it. Chad rubbed off a good screen, man. Squared up. He shot it twice and shot it 3 times. Made 2 of them.
Slack with the basketball. Slack averaging about 17 a game, but really Mike Spacel is the guy who's doing the damage. Spacel is averaging 22 a game, and he has 6 so far in this one. And puts Pinewood Prep back on top, 13-12.
Tell you what, he just clears a way out and goes to that board and got a good soft touch, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Derek Smith. Nice move by Derek. Put a move that time on Alan Slack, and Derek has a half dozen of the ball game.
Yes, sir. He lined that one in, didn't he?
Derek does not have a lot of heart on his ball anyway.
That was one of those 10 feet and 3-inch shots.
Indians in a half-court trap now. 2-2-1. A foul with a whistle on Jack Hibbets. And for Jack, that is his second, team 5th. And Prep won't stay in the 2-2-1 trap very long. If the officials are going to call it, they close.
Yep.
Ryan Boykin quickly off the bench. He'll come in, and Jack Hibbets will get a breather. Jack's playing well tonight.
Yep, he really has.
Only has 2 points, but some of the things he's done don't show up in the box score. Spacel. Boy, he just really puts that shoulder down and drives in. For Spacel, he has 8. And Pinewood goes back on top, 15-14.
Spacel does a lot of fundamentals right. When he's handling the ball in the paint, he's low to the ground and on top of that ball, and he's got real good hands, soft hands.
Nice pass inside to Boykin, but Boykin can't handle it. Turnover to Prep. Here is Mac McGuire. Smith the rebound. Boy, Derek puts another move on down there and makes a beautiful jumper. Derek has 8, and it's 16-15. We're at the 5-minute mark in the first half.
Aaron, I think Derek Smith has improved as much from the beginning of last year to this point as I've ever seen a kid improve. He is really a fine player. He's one of the best players in Skeezer.
McGuire. Bargatze. Boykin the rebound. Lanham for 3. Spacer the rebound. Pass intended for McGuire, hit the rim. Boy, I tell you, John Lamar went in there, got away with it. The basket is good. 4 points for Lamar, but it's 17-16 Pinewood.
Tell you what, both teams run the floor well. Their big people run the floor well.
Derek Smith again. Smith has 10 in the ball game. He's now the leading scorer, and it's 18-17 Orangeburg.
Tell you what, Derek is in his last 4 shots. He's really in a good groove now.
Double Spacer, and Ryan Boynton picks up a foul, I think.
Many things that Orangeburg Prep has done well all year long. When Derek Smith gets hot or Chad Lanham gets hot or whoever it may be, they do a good job of continuing to feed that person and make sure he gets plenty of shots while he's in the groove. And, you know, Derek Smith has taken, 4 out of Prep's last 5 shots.
Spacer's first time at the free throw line. Timeout, 3 minutes, 54 seconds left in the first half. It is Orangeburg Prep 18 and Pinewood Prep 17. We'll be back at McAllister Gym in just a moment. There you see Pinewood Prep around their coach, Pat Edison, and Orangeburg Prep around their coach, Richard Smith. And Mike Spacer will be back at the free throw line. He has one more free throw coming.
There's one good thing about having Spacer at the free throw line, Marion. He's not only there to rebound. Really impressed with him.
We heard that he was a good athlete, and so far everything we heard has been the truth.
He is as advertised.
Missed both his free throws, however, and Derek Smith comes down with a rebound for the Indians. Smith drives through. Derek now has a dozen here in the first half, and the Indians have their largest lead of the night at 3, 20-17, 3:40 left here in the first half. Alan Slack.
Slack's a good-looking athlete, too.
Slack averaging almost 17 a game. First time he's really had an uncontested shot tonight. He buried it. 2019, the Indians by 1. 3:20 left here in the second period. Traveling, Paul and Richard Torto.
Well, I tell you, we were due for a close game in Orangeburg Prep. The 2 previous games we've had, it would have been kind of a blowout. So I kind of expected this one would go into late into the 4th quarter before we had a winner determined.
Well, you would kind of think with the 2 best teams in the conference playing that you would get this kind of basketball game, and this is the kind that keeps everybody on their toes. Lamar to Spacer. Alley-oop to Spacer.
I'm telling you, I'm impressed with him. He is agile, got good soft hands, and a good soft shooting touch.
10 points for Mike Spacer. Single-point lead for Pinewood.
Well-coached ball club, man. Well-coached.
Lanham for 3. McGuire the rebound for Pinewood. Indians have dropped back. It looks like a one. Well, they're playing boxing one, aren't they? Oh, look at Spacer underneath.
He's got a good, quick drop step. He handles the ball well. He protects the ball so well, too. He does everything fundamentally sound.
12 for Spacer, and it's 23-20. Nice bounce pass to Ryan Boynton. Can't get the shot, and Bargatze, the rebound for Pinewood. Spacer fighting Jeffrey Kundle. Spacer wins the battle underneath. 14 for Mike Spacer. It's a 5-point lead, and with that, the Indians run a timeout. 1 minute, 57 seconds left in the second quarter. It is Pinewood Prep 25, Orangeburg Prep 20. 1 minute, 57 seconds left in the first half of our basketball game on this Friday night here on Jones Entertainment. Pinewood Prep 25, Orangeburg Prep 20. But what I guess if you're looking at this from Richard Smith's standpoint, Pinewood Prep has scored 6 in a row here.
Yep. It's been spurts of 6 to 8 points that have gone on tonight, and You just kind of ride those out. You don't want those spurts to turn into 10-point spurts, though, because you can't spot a team this good that many points.
Derek Smith picked up out there by John Lamar. Here's Tarto. Working on McGregor. Lanham for three. Great swing by Fender. And the Chief gets fouled.
Great job by Fender. Both teams do a nice job, Aaron, of getting the ball to their shooters, to their scorers. They both have several role players on each team, and they do a good job in getting their key people their shots.
First foul on Mike Spacel. First time Jeff Fender has been at the free throw line tonight. In a ball game that's going to be this tough, you need as many of those as you can get. Kenneth Proctor comes off the Indian bench. He'll come in for Richard Torto.
Okay, Kenneth really did a nice job last week against Buford, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I can promise you he'll be aggressive.
If nothing else. Space with the rebound. Five-point Pinewood Prep lead. The winner, Orangeburg Prep wins. It's a tie between Pinewood and Orangeburg for first place. If Pinewood wins, they'll have a two-game lead over Orangeburg and First Baptist. John Lamar. Oh, look at this.
I tell you, not only is Spacer a good scorer and rebounder, he's an excellent passer also.
If you look how many assists he has on the shoot there, 7-point lead now. Largest lead of the night for Pinewood. David Bargatze will foul Jeff Fender. And for Bargatze, that is his second, team fifth. No shots here. Spacel averaging, well, just one assist a game. But his one assist was pretty big tonight so far.
Yep. Very smooth player.
Derek's shot is short. Last touch by the Indians. Pinewood will control with 27 seconds left in the first half, and the Indians now in danger of going down by as many as 10 here at the half. Alan Slack. That is Kevin Kozak, who just came into the ball game, and Kozak traveled. You give the Indians a chance to cut it to 4 or 5 here at the half. They're down to 15 seconds.
Yep, you think Prep would hold for one, they'd probably want to get a good look for Derek Smith or Chad Lanham. Close this half out on a positive note, man.
7 seconds. It will be Derek. Good rebound by Boykin. Right at the bucket.
Yep. Great play by Boykin. A big lift for the Indians going in halftime.
Ryan Boykin breaks the scoring ice, and it is a 5-point Pinewood Prep lead. This game is as advertised. It is that good. Pinewood Prep Panthers 27, the Orangeburg Prep Indians 22, and we'll be back with more of our live telecast from here at McAllister Gym on just a minute on our Friday night basketball game here on Jones Intercable. Don wins, I'm sorry. So thank all those people for helping us get this game on tonight. We appreciate everything. And we're ready for a fast and furious second half of action. It will be Pinewood Prep's ball in the alternating possession. We've not had a held ball in the game. That's unusual. John Lamar, Alan Slack, Matt McGuire, David Bargatze, and Mike Spacel start for Pinewood. And for Orangeburg Prep, it will be Lanham, Smith, Fender, Hibbets, and Tortel. So the same five for everybody, and right away, Pinewood Prep goes back inside to Mike Spacel. Just picking up where he left off. Spacel with 7-point lead now at 29-22 for Pinewood.
Okay, they do such a good job of reversing the ball and getting it down low in the block to Spacel.
Jack Hibbets. Ball tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Orangeburg Prep. Indians will need to hit the 12 to 15-foot jumper.
Yep, we got to shoot the ball better than we did the first half. We just did not throw it in the ocean.
Alley-oop pass. Nice defense by Hibbets. Ball a little bit high for McGuire.
Yep, that's a set play that we've seen the Indians use a lot with Derek Smith, man, that same set. Like we've talked about, these teams have a lot of similarities.
Outside to Lanham for 3.
Oh, nice look by Jack Hibbets. Hibbets passed up a 12-footer to get Lanham a 15-footer.
29-25 now. 4-point Pinewood Prep lead. 6:40 to go into third. Here's Slack. Dump down to Spacel. Spacel scores and he's fouled by Chad Lanham.
That was a little size mismatch there, wasn't it? Spacel and Chad Lanham.
First foul on Chad Lanham. 18 in the game now for Spacel.
Pinewood Prep really passes the basketball well, don't they? They give a good look and they hit the open man.
Spacel doesn't shoot free throws well. He's missed 3 of those. 31-25. 6-point lead for the Panthers. Torto picked up by Mac McGuire. Bender puts a move on Spacel and scores. First 2 in the ball game for Jeff Bender, and it's a 4-point lead at 31-27. McGuire. Blocking foul will be called on Jeff Bender. Second foul on Jeff, second team. Now, Jeff was caught then when he was the one in a 2-on-1. Yep. He tried to, well, at least they didn't get the bucket.
They did not score.
Under the Spacel. Spacel is almost unstoppable. 20 points for Mike Spacel.
He uses his body so well, man. He uses his body so well to create space for himself.
Has scored 20 of the Pinewood Prep 33 points. The Panthers with a 6-point lead. John Lamar slaps the ball out of Derek Smith's hands. Hibbets to make the inbound. Boy, Slack is staying all over Chad Lanham.
They are really, you know, it's
really what they're trying to do.
Yep.
Chad will be fouled by Alan Slack, and for Slack, that is his first team foul.
That was clearly Chad Lanham. Exactly what he wanted to do is draw the foul on Slack. But you're right, man. They are hawking. They are all over Derek Smith and Lanham. They know where the Indians' points come from, and they're making them work awfully hard to get them.
Chad, who averages 71% at the line, made his first attempt, and we've got another. Total points now for Chad Lanham. 4-point Pinewood Prep lead at 33-29.
Indians coming with 3/4 court pressure.
To Spacel. Spacel.
Oh, I'll tell you, what a great job of catching the basketball by Spacel, and then he just went up and jumped it. Good-looking athlete, man. He is as good. He is as advertised. He is something special.
He may be better than David Berry.
Yep. Spacel is special, I'll tell you that.
Lanham for 3.
That little man starts lighting it up, and he can open up some room for Derek Smith inside. And he's given, like we talked about at halftime, Lanham's got to step up and score. One thing about Chad, man, he usually does a good job of not forcing his game. He lets the game come to him, and he's very patient. When he gets his shot, he nails him.
Third foul on Jeff Fender, third team foul. For the second half against Orangeburg Prep, 35-32, 3-point lead.
The crowd is already getting into this game now, man. You know, way before the stretch run, you can just sense it's going to be one of those games that's going to go down to the wire.
Alan Slack picked up by Chad Lanham. Lamar, Slack again.
Fender working awfully hard on spacing.
Foul called on Richard Torto. For Richard, that is his third, team fourth.
I tell you, Spacer's working hard and Fender's working hard trying to deny him the basketball. When he gets the ball down below block, there's really no way to stop him.
There's a timeout. 4 minutes and 8 seconds left in the third period. We have an exciting basketball game on this Friday night here on Jones Intercable. Pinewood 35 and Prep 32. Pinewood Prep 35, Orangeburg Prep 32, 4:08 left in the third period. And there's one of the good crowd from Somerville that came up for tonight's ball game.
You and I were talking at the break that Prep's got to do something to keep the ball away from Spacel. And Jeffrey Fender is working real hard. Of course, Jeffrey's out now getting a blow with 3 fouls.
Margetzi throws up a brick, but Spacel is right there for the rebound. 24 points for Mike Spacel, and we're just midway through the third period.
And I don't think he's missed with one shot tonight.
A lot of his shots have been layups.
Yep.
Lanham for 3. That is Bargatze with the rebound. So Slack, McGuire loses the handle. Boy, that was a tough turnover for Pinewood because they had an easy basket there.
I think McGuire just took his eyes off the ball and was looking for the basket.
Spacel, 24 of the 37 points scored by Pinewood Prep.
One thing about Spacel, he won't take a bad shot either, will he?
Ryan Boykin now in the game for Fender. Alan Slack will foul Jack Hibbets.
That 3 on Slack.
That's 2 on Slack. Second team foul of the second half on Pinewood Prep, but Hibbets will get 2.
Okay, Slack is quick, and he's a good quick jumper, too, isn't he? He's a good defensive player.
Don't let the Beatle-like haircut fool you.
Yep, that's right.
Today, by the way, was the 30th anniversary of the first Beatles concert at Shea Stadium.
I knew that. But again, Pinewood Prep, I don't know how to say this nicely, but to watch them warm up and to look at them, they don't look like a very athletic or great team, but boy, are they good.
They're very impressive once
yes, sir.
It counts.
Yes, sir.
Hibbets gets both of those. Jack now has 4 in the ball game. 3-point Pinewood Prep lead at 37-34.
Richard's going to a little half-court trap. Got away with a walk. Good job by Richard Torto.
Slack picks his pocket.
Yep.
Probably fouled him too, but no whistle. Good intimidation then by Derek Smith, but it comes out to Bargatze.
Great defense by Derek Smith.
Slack for 3. 5 points for Alan Slack, and it's a 5-point lead for Pinewood.
No foul.
Boykin gets the rebound. Boy, there's a lot of bodies banging and no whistle there.
Good job by Boykin banging in there and keeping possession for the Indians. I tell you, we don't need many trips down floor. We don't put some points up, man, because they're scoring just about every time down.
Good rebound by Jack Hibbets, blocked by Spacel, and Bargatze picks up the loose ball ahead to McGuire. McGuire scores. 41-35, 6-point lead now for Pinewood. 7-point lead, I'm sorry.
Tell you what, Spacel keyed that with the block on the defensive end.
Slack blocked that shot, and Spacel comes down with a rebound. A lot of bodies banging without any whistles now.
Yep. Good hustle by
Hibbets. By Jack Hibbets, but he saved the ball. Back in it comes to John Lamar, and Lamar gets a cheap one.
I think Hibbets has banged his knee up pretty bad.
Hibbets has a hurt knee, and the trainer comes out. 1 minute and 48 seconds left here in the third period. It is now Pinewood Prep 43, Orangeburg Prep 34. Well, I thought we were going to get a timeout, but apparently we're not. There is no stoppage in play here. Now there is a stoppage in play. Orangeburg Prep calls a timeout. 148, 9 points. Pinewood Prep lead. Richard Smith out talking with the Indians, having a word of prayer here because this game is very much in danger of slipping away from the Indians now.
Well, I'm going to tell you what Richard's not happy about is the fact that the Indians are getting beat down the floor. They're not getting back on defense. And, you know, when points are at a premium like they are in this game, you do not want to give up easy baskets.
Fred Riley now into the ballgame. So it's Riley, Boykin, Torto, Lanham, and Smith. Derek Smith got Lamar in the air, couldn't get it down. Riley will be fouled by Mike Spacer underneath.
Good job by Fred drawing the foul on Spacer.
Second foul on Spacer, third team foul in the second half on Pinewood Prep. And Fred, who just came into the ball game, will shoot two. You notice then they gave Riley the jump shot right about the free throw line. Fred will have to shoot that if he keeps getting it. Right as out. That's tough luck. The ball did everything then but go in.
Yep, I think he made about, 5 in a row last week against Pupil. Looked good at the line.
Air ball. Nerves got to him on that one. Pinewood Prep will control. I don't think there's any question that the Indians need a defensive stop here.
Yep. We got to turn it up. We got to turn it up on defense and get something done on the defensive end.
1:22 left in the third. Still that 9-point lead. The Indians went with that 2-2-1 half-court trap there and came away with a steal.
One of the few turnovers they forced.
Torto got Spacer up in the air, and Ryan Boykin will be called for a foul over the back of David Margansi. For Boykin, that is his second. It is the team fifth. In high school basketball, we shoot 1-1 after 17 fouls in any half.
I tell you, man, Pinewood Prep has been on a 9-2 run in the last 3 minutes here. It kind of broken open what was a very close game.
Lamar almost has his pocket picked by Torto. Double team. The Indians steal it for the second time. Yeah, they got to convert steals into points.
Good job by Torto and Fred Riley forcing the turnover. But they haven't scored the last 3 trips down. Slack working awful hard on
beautiful drive by Derek Smith. Smith now has 14 in the ballgame, but his first 2 in the second half.
Yep.
7-point lead now. And again, the Indians in that 2-2-1 half-court trap. McGuire. Derek Smith, the rebound, and Smith is fouled by McGuire. McGuire's third, team fourth.
You're right, man. Derek just hadn't had many good looks at the basket in his third quarter. They've really tightened the defense up on him and Lanham. They're making them work awfully hard for the points they get.
Pinewood Prep has done to Derek what Orangeburg Prep needs to do to Spacer.
Yep.
We're down to 10 seconds left here in the third period.
It'd be nice to hit Lanham for a 3 to finish this thing.
Prep will not even get a shot off as Matt McGuire knocked the ball away from Richard Torto. We have come to the end of the third period here at McAllister Gym. Our score, Pinewood Prep 43, Orangeburg Prep 36. Well, we have 8 minutes of high school basketball left in a high school basketball game tonight here on Jones Intercable. Orangeburg Prep trails by 7, 43-36 in a game that if they win, they get a part of first place. If they lose, they drop into a tie for second place with Charleston First Baptist.
I tell you, man, I think Prep's got to get the crowd. They've got to do something special to get this crowd in the game and try to rattle Pinewood Prep a little bit. There's Lanham spotting for a 3. Boom. That's what we needed.
Lanham now has 16, and it's a 4-point lead at 43-39.
Got to get the crowd revved up and try to rattle Pinewood Prep, force a few turnovers.
McGuire. Blocking foul is going to be called on Fred Riley, I do believe. And for Fred, that is his first. It is the team 6. But this is a shooting foul anyway. I think it's Matt McGuire, who is 1 of 2, will get 2 more. Got them both. 7 total points for McGuire. 6-point lead for Pinewood.
They're really helping out on Derek Smith, aren't they? Everybody just sandwiching Derek.
Torto. Little too long. Slack the rebound. Up to McGuire. Oh, beautiful play.
Yeah, just nice play. Just took your hat and say great play.
9 points for McGuire. 8-point lead with 7 minutes to go in the game.
I tell you what, I think Chad is just going to have to beat his man off the dribble because they're not getting many open shots. Try to create something.
Well, there's got to be a hill ball there somewhere, doesn't it? Something. 3's 5? I don't know. Boy. Space will travel.
Big break there. If they score there, man, and go up 10, we're in real serious trouble.
Down 8 points at the 6:26 mark.
Like I say, I think Lanham is the need to create and try to beat Slack off of the dribble. Slack has played him awfully tough, and Chad's just have to try to create and penetrate.
Fairly obvious for the game plan was for Pinewood.
And they've done a good job of it, hasn't they? Here's Chad.
McGuire the rebound for Pinewood.
The other thing about Lanham penetrating, man, if he can get on the foul line and score some points with the clock stopped,
good steal by Lanham. Pick Slack's pocket. He's going to be hammered hard. Really got hammered there by Alan Slack.
Yep, he is holding his elbow. I hope it's just a funny bone, but I tell you, he took a lick on that elbow.
3rd foul on Alan Slack. 15 fouls.
Saw that foul coming from the free throw line. Slack was a little sour because Chad had picked his pocket, and he was going to make sure he didn't make the layup.
I think that's what Richard Smith wants is an intentional foul here. Let's see if we're going to get it.
Yep, Richard would like to have 2 shots and the ball back. I think that's what he's going to get, isn't he?
Or was it a technical call on Richard Smith?
No, I don't think so.
Well, we'll see. We know that Lanham, my view was obscured by the players, and I couldn't see. But we do know that Chad gets 2 shots here.
Again, Prep's got an opportunity to score some points with the clock stopped, trailing by 8.
Rattles out.
For one thing, man, that elbow is bothering him, too.
They call a technical foul. You might be right. I didn't Richard Smith.
I didn't see for what or what.
I think Richard wanted an intentional foul, and he didn't get it. He probably should have gotten it then. This is Alan Slack, who will shoot his first trip to the free throw line. So that netted nothing for the ball club, except
possession.
Good possession. Yep. I'm not certain that we're still on the same page with the officials. I'm not certain that they're on the same page together.
I think Pinewood Prep won the timeout.
Pinewood Prep will take a timeout, and so will we. 5 minutes, 55 seconds left here in the 4th period. It is now Pinewood Prep 48, Orangeburg Prep 40. Pinewood 48, Orangeburg Prep 40, 5:55 left here in the 4th period. And Fred, from the best we can ascertain from all of that, is that Smith got a technical foul because he thought that Slack should have been called for an intentional foul and was not. Yep. And I guess he protested too much. Spacel to Lamar. He traveled and scored. John Lamar has 10, and that's exactly what the lead is for Pinewood. 50-40.
Again, a nice assist from Spacel. Spacel has done very little wrong tonight.
Derek Smith takes it inside, and he's hammered by Bargatze. For Bargatze, that's his third 16 foul. Derek will get 2 here. First trip to the free throw line for Derek tonight, who has 14 points. Only has 1 basket here in the second half.
And I think just what we saw there with Derek penetrating and taking the hole, I think he and Chad Lanham would have to beat their people, beat the defenders off the dribble and take it to the basket and try to draw some contact and three-point play in that manner. But they're double teaming them. It's so hard for them to get the ball. Once they get it, they're going to have to do something with it. They have to penetrate. They can't give it back up.
Somebody else is going to have to step up, too, because it is painfully obvious to the Indian fans that Pinewood wanted to shut down Lanham and Smith.
Yep.
Here's Slack. Boy, Spacel just takes it away from 2 players underneath and scores again.
Spacel has got an unusual combination of strong hands as well as soft hands, doesn't he?
So he was a wonderful tight end in football.
Oh, I can imagine.
Derek Smith off the baseline. A whistle underneath. Foul is called against Orangeburg Prep, and I missed the number because we had a bunch of folks standing up in front of us, and I couldn't see what the indication was. But we do know that Mac McGuire will shoot 1 and 1. McGuire 3 of 4 from the free throw line.
Old Spacel is just kind of an unassuming-looking guy. He's kind of one of those coal miners, isn't he? He just comes to work and works hard, doesn't he?
All right, he's played a well of the ball game tonight. 10 points now for McGuire. It is an 11-point lead as Ryan Jenkins comes into the ball game for Orangeburg Prep.
I think Spacel would kind of be on our all-Jones intercable team.
He'd be on the all-Madden team, too.
You're right.
5 out of 6 from the free throw line for McGuire. 11 total points, 12-point lead, 5 minutes to go with the ball game.
Kind of reminds you of Madden's bust, doesn't he?
He's almost as big as a Greyhound, come to think of it.
Yeah, that's Pinewood Prep's largest lead of the night.
And the Indians are also getting beat on the board as Bargatze rips the rebound down ahead to Alan Slack.
Tell you another thing, Marion.
Slack call for turning the basketball over.
It's also obvious that the loss down at Hayward was probably a good wake-up call for this club, too, because they certainly didn't come in here with swell heads, did they?
No, they did not. Turtle back into the ball game after a brief rest on the bench with Richard Smith. Jeff Fender, nice turnaround move over Spacel.
Get him to turn it over now.
10-point lead, 54-44. Bargatze. Nice rebound by Fender, who is fouled by Alan Slack. And that is 4 on Alan Slack.
Yep, and that's a big foul for that reason, because I think Slack is their money man down the crunch along with Spacel.
Well, he also shoots 67% from the free throw line. He and John Lamar don't want to foul those 2 guys down the stretch. Ryan Jenkins comes back in for Prep. Now, once again, the Indians need to make some free throws when the clock isn't running.
Yep.
Jeff 0 for 2 from there tonight.
They have really, Pinewood Prep has really made Lanham and Smith work extremely hard for the points, hasn't they?
They have. Bargatze, the loose ball for Pinewood. Ryan Jenkins on Alan Slack. Lamar, again from Mike Spacel. 12 points for John Lamar, 10 on assist from Spacel. 12-point lead. We're down to 4 minutes. Indians in deep trouble as John Lamar will foul Derek Smith.
And that's the one thing that if you're Pinewood Prep, you don't want to do is continue to foul and stop that clock, do you?
Derek 2 of 2 from the free throw line.
I tell you, man, if the Indians are going to make a comeback in this game, they're going to have to be pretty much perfect down the stretch.
Rebound to McGuire. Here's Slack.
I tell you, Jenkins doing a good job defensively on Slack.
Spacel missed one, but he shot that one from 17 feet.
Yep, that's not his shot, I don't believe. Not a fall-away 17-footer. But, hey, he's got to do something wrong, doesn't he? Huh? First thing he's done wrong tonight.
First thing I can think of. Derek Smith over Spacel, no whistle. Derek is on rebound, scores, and there is a whistle this time.
Great hustle by Derek Smith. Showed great tenacity staying after that ball and getting it back up and in and drawing a foul.
It's on Spacel, by the way, his third.
And the Indians had that one bad stretch about the last 3.5 minutes of the third quarter, and that is really coming back to haunt them now, isn't it?
It's 19 of the ball game for Derek, and it's a 9-point lead with 3:15 left in the game. Ryan Jenkins on Alan Slack. McGuire throws up an air ball. Defender. Gotta be careful with those passes. Ball tipped out around by Bargatze.
Look for Prep to try to set up Lanham or Smith off of this inbound play, man. Get a quick bucket and call a timeout and get this game down to about 6 or 7 points, and we could still have a photo finish.
Allow him to make the inbounds pass. Here's Torto, who just came back in. To Chad.
Again, a great job by Slack of not letting Lanham get off the three.
Chad goes through. Score. 19 for Lanham. 7-point lead at 56-49. You have 2.5 minutes left in the game. Pinewood Prep wants a timeout. We're afraid while we have a minute here. In the last 2 minutes and 26 seconds, the Indians need 3 3-pointers or 4 deuces and shut Pinewood Prep out. They've done a little better job the last 60, 75 seconds.
Yeah, they really have. I'm gonna tell you, if Preps can win the ball game, they've got to do it on the defensive end. I mean, they can't. If they're at the stage of the game there, that they're not going to have that many more offensive opportunities. So they've got to stop Pinewood Prep. They can't keep matching basket for basket or giving up 2 baskets for 1 basket or whatever. They've got to have some turnovers, get some easy points, and get back into the game with their defense.
Well, they've cut the Pinewood lead from 12 down to 7, but they still have a long way to go.
You know, if I'm Richard, I'm thinking seriously about using Fred Riley and Boykin in that crowd and fouling Spacek as soon as he touches you. You accomplish 2 things. Number 1, he hadn't shot free throws well tonight. Number 2, he's not going to be under there to rebound, you know? So I might try to pick him out. You know, you don't have that 2-shot foul in high school basketball after 10 fouls. So why not pick out Spacek, make him beat us from the free throw line, and try to go with the old Valvano strategy of getting more possession.
Well, that's why the 2-shot rule was inserted, was because of Jim Valvano and North Carolina State.
Yep.
And it comes to Slack, and Jenkins is on, and this is a guy you do not want to put.
No, you don't want to put Slack on the line.
Or do you want to put Lamar on the line? That's the guy you want to put on the line. Pass intended for McGuire, last touch by the Indians.
Of course, Spacel, will probably step up and hit 3 or 4 in a row, but still, that's you got to go with percentages. Great steal
by Lanham. Chad on a breakaway. Working on Lamar, scores. It's down to a 5-point game with 2 minutes to go.
Good solid D, no have to panic.
Lanham again, on by Lanham. Working on, this time he's going to be fouled. This is an intentional foul called on John Lamar, which means 2 shots on the basketball.
tell you, Chad Lanham has just absolutely picked his pocket 2 times in a row, hasn't he?
Boy, it's been getting rough out there for a while. I think it just culminated with that.
Yep.
There's no use in trying to hurt anybody.
Well, I tell you, Lanham hadn't been hit this hard since Thomas Hayward back in football, has he?
Since he broke his collarbone.
Gene Watts right on top of that call. I tell you, man, he has really stepped it up. I think he had 5 points at halftime, and he's probably got, what, 17 second half?
He say it's like 22 total points at the moment. But it does trim the lead to 4, 56-52 with 1:46 left in regulation.
Yep.
And the Indians have the basketball.
Great job with defense of getting them back in this game.
Torto for 3. Gotta have a rebound, though. Bart Gatsu goes up and gets that. That shot was about a half-ounce shy. Alan Slack's going to be fouled by Chad Lanham. Only his second foul. The bad thing about fouling Slack is that he hits 2 out of every 3, but he also misses 1 out of every 3.
Yep. Well, if he misses his first one here, then we could have a wonderful opportunity.
He has made 1 of 2 so far tonight. He just threw up a bit, but Pinewood Prep gets it back. McGuire short.
Boy, we have got the rebound.
Lamar blocked by Fender on a foul. Lamar also said something to Fender, and that's the wrong person to say anything to. That's probably the worst sportsmanship we've seen this year on the field. I don't know what Lamar's probably is.
Tell you something. A minute and 24 seconds is a lifetime in basketball. It's a lifetime. This game is far from over. As you well know, there's several things you don't want to do.
And you don't want to step on everybody at this juncture.
Nope.
That kind of stuff comes back to haunt you.
All we got to do is nail a 3 here.
There's Chad. In and out.
God, that looked good all the way, didn't it?
Spacer, the rebound. If they're fouling Alan Slack, which is the wrong guy to foul. But Slack has only made 1 of 3 from the free throw line. 5-point lead. We're down to 1:03 left in the ball game. 3rd foul on Lanham. You'll get a bonus.
You know, out of all the conversation, you know this great player, don't get involved with that. I don't think Spacel has changed expression all night long, has he? He just works.
7-point lead. We're inside 1 minute. Indians got to fire and fall back in a hurry. Derek Smith. And this one is slowly slipping away. And Smith will pick up the foul on Slack. First foul tonight on Derek.
Well, man, the Indians made a great run, and they came from 12 down and cut it to 4 and had the ball.
And had the ball.
As a matter of fact, Richard got off a 3-pointer, and that could have been a real momentum drainer if that goes. But you got to credit Pinewood Prep. I mean, they've hung tough, and they've made the shots down the stretch.
Lanham the rebound. Chad from downtown. Good save by Jack Hibbets. Derek Smith, yes, 1-pointer. And Orangeburg Prep calls a timeout. That cuts it to 4 with 32 seconds left in the ball game.
That three-pointer changes things in a hurry.
I love it. Best thing ever done for basketball is the inclusion of the three-point play.
I mean, you know, Preps will go hard for the steal, and they go foul immediately. You know, they can't be picking and choosing who they go foul now. They'll foul immediately. And, you know, hope that Pinewood Prep misses the free throw. Come down, hit a bucket, call timeout, boom. You know, stranger things have happened. If Prep goes on to lose this game, man, I think they'll look back at the last 3.5 minutes of the third quarter. You know, it was rocking along a 1 point and a 3-point deficit. That's what Prep was behind. And all of a sudden, next thing we looked up, and it was a 10-point game.
Yeah. There you see it, 59-55, 4 points, 32 seconds left.
Be a great thing to get a steal. If they get a steal here, man, early, they can go for the 2. If they don't and have to bring it down the length of the floor, you'll probably see them go for a 3. But, you know, if they get something here, a turnover and an easy bucket to cut it to 2, it could really get interesting before it's over with.
Well, we'll see. And you know that the inbounds pass will come to Alan Slack, either he or John Lamar, as those are the 2 best free throw shooters on the ball club. Slack 3 of 6 tonight, Lamar 1 of 3, even though they have not shot up to their numbers thus far. And it's Lamar who will make the inbounds pass.
Good look here for the Kentucky run out. There it goes. Defended well by Richard Torto.
Yes. As you saw, Lamar had the ball, they threw it to Slack, and they were going to try, as Fred said, the Kentucky run out, and this time it was
Tell you
another timeout.
One thing about the Kentucky run out in this gym, Marion, as you well know, we've got this overhang here, and I've seen that get involved in many a long pass. Had you over the years?
Well, they have a net guy. When they play volleyball, they pull the net over so they have 2 volleyball kids. And I've seen many errant pass bump into the trappings upstairs. Well, it has taken 25 minutes to play this last 8 minutes on the clock.
Yep.
That's what happens when you get in a good close ball game. Both teams are calling timeouts. Again, Pinewood Prep to try to make the inbounds pass. How we got a second off the clock, I don't know then, because nobody touched the ball inbounds. John Lamar gets it to Alan Slack, and Slack gets it over out. I had the spacer. And that will do it. Mike Spacel has 28 points. Foul call on John Lamar. Lamar's third. Chad to shoot 1 and 1. Well, now we've got a 2-way tie for second place.
Yep. Barring a miracle.
Yes. I don't think there are that many miracles left to be had tonight. Well, it'll be a 5-point game with 14 seconds.
I'm telling you, I've seen stranger things. Just about got to have a steal.
Slack is fouled immediately by Lanham. I saw South Carolina lose a 6-point lead in the last 7 seconds one night. Wasn't it Maryland or somebody?
I've seen South Carolina lose a lot of leads over the years.
They had some help that night, though. Yeah, it's called intimidated crowd.
Tell you what,
officials.
Good Maryland. Good times are ahead, though. I'm telling you, I think they finally got the right combination up there with Fogler and Brad Scott.
Alan Slack has 9 points, and he'll get the bonus. The rebound defender, stolen away by Slack. Good defense by Allen, who will be called for a charging foul on Jack Hibbets. And for Slack, that's 5. That's going to bring in Kevin Kosak.
Tell you what, he did a good job, though.
Yep.
Slack's a good ball player.
Fouls out with 9 points, 7 here in the second half.
Spacel just turned around to his teammates and said, look, fellas, let's don't foul. Let's get this thing over with and get out of here. Unless we do something stupid, we'll go in.
Torto for 3. That's all. Smith rebounds and scores, but too little, too late.
Well, maybe not.
5-point lead, 2 seconds.
How about 3-point lead in 2 seconds?
Is it 3-point?
Yep.
Sorry, it's 62-59. You're right.
Well, you know, the one thing you don't want to do, obviously, if you Pinewood Prep, is turn it over, you know, because the only thing that hurts you is a three-pointer.
But boy, we saw one up at Calhoun one night in a similar situation. Hit right at, and down at Charleston.
Yep.
Hit right at the buzzer to tie the ball game.
One thing about it, I tell you, Richard Smith and his team haven't quit. I'm telling you, Derek Smith battled hard, Lanham's battled hard. They've all battled hard. Hibbett's did a great job of drawing and charging into the baseline. They're still giving themselves a chance, a small chance, but a chance of pulling something out here yet.
62-59, 2 seconds left. Our next telecast here on Jones Intercable, Tuesday night, Orangeburg, Wilkinson, and Aiken, a Region 3 4A encounter from over at the Bruins Den. And everything else will be postseason and probably will be tape delayed. Unless the Bruins have a game at home and they'll let us do it live. Because all of Prep's tournament games will be on the road from this juncture on. We will have some of those games. Hopefully we'll have the conference finals come down at Thomas Hayward next 2 weeks from tonight. Here we go. It is John Lamar to attempt the inbounds pass. And it comes to Matt McGuire, and that's the ball game. So Pinewood Prep will run their conference record to 7 and make it 7-2, and Orangeburg Prep will fall to 7-1, and 7-1, and Indians will fall to 5-3. The story here tonight, no question about it, was Mike Spacel.
Yep.
The fact that Spacel is a much better athlete than he looks like he is. He had 28 points, 14 in each half. How is that for consistency?
Listen, you're right. He's consistent. I think he missed 2 shots tonight. 2 shots.
And one of those came from 17 feet.
Yep.
He is the leading scorer. 2 points for Bargatze. 11 points for McGuire, 9 points for Slack, 13 for Lamar. And the big story is Mike Spacel, 28 points and a bushel of rebounds. Orangeburg Prep tonight, Richard Torto had 1. Chad Lanham had 24-19 here in the second half, and he really had to work. Derek Smith had 24 total points, 12 in each half. He really had to work. 4 points for Jeff Fender here in the second half, 4 points for Hibbets, 2 in each half, and 2 points for Ryan Boykin. The defensive strategy worked well tonight for Pat Edison and for Pinewood. Stop Smith and Lanham.
Yep. And you know, they didn't stop them, but they controlled them. They made them work so hard for their points, and that was the key to the game. Good defense by both teams.
Torto was the guy they really stopped. Just 1 point. Outside of Smith and Lanham, only 11 points. Sorry. Yes, 11 points scored by the other Indians, and that's not going to get it done in a game like this. So congratulations to Pat Edison. His ball club goes to 4-7, 7-1 in the league. Orangeburg Prep, the Indians fall to 15-6, 5-3. And now it's important for the Indians not to lose any more ball games. I asked what happened if teams were tied for first, but what happens if they're tied for second? There is no playoff to determine second place alone, is there?
No, and of course, if you're talking about second and third, I reckon it is a big deal, because I was going to say you're in a different bracket from the top seeded team, but I'm sure you would rather be the number 2 team than play the lower seeded team rather than a better team. You know?
Yeah, because you don't want to get in the bracket with the number 1 team, and that's what happens. So 2 is important. So our congratulations to Pinewood Prep as they come out here tonight and they beat the Indians. By the way, in the girls' game, the OPS girls blew out Pinewood Prep by about 40 points. Our thanks again tonight to our cameraman, Max Seabury and Todd Reynolds, to Scott Lineberger, who has been our director, and to Steve Robinson, who has been our technical director, and to Marty Kiners, who has been our our chief technician out at our head end who has switched us on and off the air and who is about to switch us off. Any closing thoughts before we go?
Nope, it's a good ball game. Real impressed with Spacel. I tell you, I'd heard about him, but he is as advertised. He's one of the top 2 or 3 players in Skeeza, and we'll see him again in the conference tournament, state tournament.
Probably so. Thank you so much for being with us. Our next live telecast here on Jones Intercable comes up on Tuesday night. The OW Bruins and the Aiken Hornets. Our airtime will be 7:50 from the Bruins Den out on Bruin Parkway off 601. Thank you so much for being with us tonight here on Jones Intercable. For Fred Stabler, this is Marion Garris, bidding you and yours a very pleasant good night from McAllister Gym. Good night, everybody.